of the Dead festivals. Some of the things I've noticed since we did our last videos, because I think we could be in for one of the greatest bull markets in human history if, and that's a big if, we can get rid of some of the baggage that's been holding us back. So, I'm a big fan of the free markets, and I'm sure one of the things that's changed the most is the fact that the Federal Reserve and the central banks basically seem to control liquidity of everything that's going on. When they tighten rates, the market drops. When they print money, the market goes up. It's hard to say whether you've invested in a good company or not based off the fact that these guys are keeping basically everything alive through inflation. I grew up thinking that the markets were this free enterprise where if you built something awesome and people started to pay for it, you would be rewarded. But largely over the last few years, as government spending and this massive printing from the Federal Reserve has taken place, the government has become one of the main gatekeepers for where funding goes. If you want money, whether it's government grants, funding through scientific whatever, they give out billions of dollars every year. They give, I don't know how many billions of dollars it is engraved to Ukraine, but that's not free market enterprise. That's government augmented spending, and it ends up doing pretty bad things to the economy and the free market enterprise that we're big fans of. Usually leads to what people call crony capitalism. Over the last bunch of years, crony capitalism is this unique kind of conversion of capitalism and rules and regulations between the government. Now, what inherently makes that worse is when the government then decides how much money they want to print and which businesses they want to give that money to. I'm not going to name any company names here, but if for some reason you produce a product that then has no liability for the downstream negative side effects of that product, this would be a perfect example of crony capitalism. It gives carte blanche to capitalistic companies, or I guess this is originally what fascism was meant to be, was that mingling of government and corporations, so that corporations could lobby the government to get what they wanted out of those rules and regulations, so that the average person who couldn't afford the fines for doing the same bad thing would normally be thrown in jail. So if you create a product and then someone gets harmed from that product, your company is liable. All right, so how is it that a company can create a product in any place around the world where they are not liable for the negative downstream side effects of said product? It's really quite absurd, but this is the downstream negative side effects of the marriage between corporations and government, and now even worse, where governments just decide which corporations they want to give the money to, whether it's a political agenda like, oh, we need the newest, greenest technologies, whatever it might be. Maybe it fits your narrative, maybe sometimes it doesn't, and this is really dangerous. Now, one of the unique reasons, again, why I am so bullish on something like Bitcoin in the long term is because we need solutions to these problems. We need solutions to the problems of the marriage between governments and corporations. It ends up really bad. It ends up like really, really bad for people, the average person, where again, if you had done something where your product hurt someone, your company would be liable. So how do we solve this? You know, effectively the idea of removing the state control of money is a huge step forward. You know, as we grow and we expand into this area, one of the reasons why I always mention Dogecoin and great to see it do over 120% the last few weeks, is because of the interest in currency is not necessarily based off any real tangible benefit. Now, this is a really unique argument, again, because you could state the idea that the United States government's dollar is backed by the power of its army and its ability to fiscally monetize its citizens from taxes, but inherently it's the violence that the government controls that does all that. So in a sense it is the army. It says, hey, if you don't believe what I tell you, if 2 + 2 doesn't equal 5, I'm going to shoot you, I'm going to jail you, I'm going to criticize you, lambaste, whatever it might be. When the government now has the power to manipulate that data and the money, we're in a very, very dangerous territory. So since the early days of Bitcoin, the reason why I'm still such a large proponent of cryptocurrency, even if it's Dogecoin, anything that you're choosing as a peer-to-peer transaction model between one human being and another human being is where I am most devoutly excited. Now, we've used technology at this point to astutely correct that problem, but it's any way that we can do that that I am uniquely excited about. So if you wanted to trade X for Y and both parties agree that C can be the inherent mode of value transfer, could be coconut shells, could be whatever you wanted, but as those two parties agree on that peer-to-peer transaction, I think we've made a huge step forward, because then we no longer are relying on government's monopoly over violence to tell us what we can and can't do, or what we can or can do it with. Anyway, just a quick thought. We're here in Playa del Carmen for the Day of the Dead festival, celebrating all of those who came before us and laid the path to the world we live in now. So we'll see you guys again on the next episode. I tried the editing, tried the cutting it up. Helps a little bit. It's fun. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of effort, and the view count isn't really that much better. Tomorrow, though, I'm going to try something else, and we're going to keep tweaking to see if we can engage the algorithms and make YouTube like us more again. It'd be great to break over the 5,000 views per video. So that's my goal coming into 2023, is to get back over 5 and hopefully 10,000 views of videos. I know that that also has to do with providing you guys valuable ideas that you like and that you share, and then also creating it in a way that is engaging and interesting and entertaining, as well as hopefully educational for you. So we'll see you in the next episode.